What's going on, everybody? Welcome back if you're here before. Today I've got a cool deck from you. I've noticed if you go to MTG Top 8, actually we can do that together. If you head to MTG Top 8 and start to look at the recent Premodern tournaments, I realized that there's been a ton more Japanese Premodern tournaments, which is really exciting. And I really wanted to zero in. Was it the, let's see here. I don't think it was the FNM. It was the, no, it wasn't. It was the FNM. This is a 16-person tournament, so fairly sizable, especially since I haven't seen a ton of Japanese Premodern tournaments up to this point. And I saw this list, which is Bug Control. The pilot, or maybe the architect, because this deck does pop up twice in this tournament, once by Jiji Kaido. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. And the other one by Arashi Kato. Again, sorry if I'm just destroying your name. But I did look, these lists are both functionally identical. So I wanted to try it out today and see, because I do like what's going on. We're going to kind of dive into what exactly is going on right now. What are we doing? What's the difference between this control deck and everything else we've seen? The list looks like a hybrid between like a mono blue control deck and then just the rock with some other interesting stuff going on. Let's start top down. How are we going to end the game with this deck? The best way to do it is going to be to close the game out totally and then start to use Grizzly Fate to win the game. It's just going to create a ton of bears, which is insane. Also, for Duda, hi from Brazil. Thank you for the Prime subscription, buddy. If you don't know, we stream these live, links in the description. But we're doing Grizzly Fate, which is how we're going to go wide. It's kind of at odds with the Pernicious Deed, which is our main point of removal. But there's a plan for that because we're also a Gaea's Blessing deck. So one of our other win cons is just to never draw our deck while we watch our opponent draw theirs. That's not something we're trying to do, but it's like a mode the deck has access to. Now, going over the rest of the green cards, we've got Wall of Blossoms, which is just going to be really good against aggressive decks. And like I said, we've got the Pernicious Deeds and the Gaea's Blessings. Once we're done with those cards, we're really looking at a blue-black control deck with all the usual suspects. Duress, AK, Lat-Nam's Legacy is a one of because we've got a sideboard kind of a transmorphative plan into Oath. We'll go over that in a moment too. We're playing Counterspells, Mana Leak, Diabolic Edict, Smother, and then Factor Fiction. And we're also playing a spicy one of Dominate, which I'm pretty into. The mana base is as competent as a shard mana base can be. We get one fetch, so we're really leaning on like Reflecting Pool, City of Brass, and some Pain lands to do the heavy lifting for us. And then our sideboard, we've got some stuff that you would expect. We want the game to go long, so cards like Haunting Echoes is tech that we're borrowing from the Rock. And we're also playing Naturalize, Blue Blasts, Annuls, Chills, stuff you would think of as normal for this color, part of the color pie. Something that isn't always the case is these 3 Oath of Druids with a Phantom Nishoba, a Akroma, Angel of Wrath, and a Spirit of the Night. Against creature matchups, we've got a nice little toolboxy Oath package we can bring in, and we have to remember to bring our Wall of Blossoms out when we bring those cards in. That way we don't non-bow ourselves by oathing into a Wall of Blossoms. We're also probably supposed to take out the Grizzly Fates in this situation, but I really don't have any testing on this deck, so we're going to find out live. That's everything you got to know. Let's hop into some games. This hand is 6 lands into Pernicious Deed. On the play, there's some matchups where that's just going to be good enough. I will not be keeping this. That's a little bit too narrow for me. We'll mulligan. This hand has Duress, Gaea's Blessing, and GeForce Game Ready Driver is available. Goodbye. And we're probably just shipping a City of Brass because we can't pay infinite life. So pop that back. Hope that Duress is good in this matchup. And we will open on Swamp, tap it, black, Duress. Duress is good in this matchup. Looks like we're playing against some type of a Bant Terravore deck. Gaea's Blessing going to be real good against the Terravore. We'll drop one of the Mana Leaks. I think we have to get through these eventually. We can also just take out like a diamond if we want to, I guess. Although I'm not unclear as to how good that actually is. We'll take a Mana Leak. And then let's look at this known information, cancel out the Mana Leak, and pass. How's it going for this morning, y'all? Eli, I'm doing good, man. Just chilling, playing some MTGO. We got some streams for you. Thursday, I've got Max in the studio. Potentially Friday, I'll have Chris in the studio. And then Saturday, we're doing a Spice stream with Kevin DeCoste, friend of the channel. So if you're looking for some paper gameplay, it's coming up. Here comes the Mox Diamond. We have the Island out of hand. There's what, 4 cards now? So there's 1 unknown. There shouldn't be, right? Mox Diamond, Wasteland, what did we pitch? Oh, Wasteland, there we go. So their hand is Mana Leak, Mox Diamond, Terravore, unknown. They're going for a second Mox Diamond. Goodbye. Are they going to drop the Vor? Becomes the question. They are. We're going to kill that Terravore. This is very bad for our opponents. When is the next Premodern event at Pando? Let's take a look. It's going to be at noon on the 11th of October. Hope that helps. If you don't know about it, if you're near Southeast Michigan, we do bi-weekly events at Pandemonium Games and Hobbies, and they have been insanely fun. Great turnouts. It's been a blast. Our opponent didn't expect this, but I'm now going to make our opponent very sad. Here's a little trick you can do. I'm going to pay a green. I'm going to lose a life to the City of Brass. I'm going to pay a black. I'm going to cast Gaia's Blessing, targeting our opponent. I don't have any lands in the grave, so when I eat all of the lands out of their graveyard, and I guess we'll hit the mana leak too. Now their Terravor's dead because it's a 0/0, and then I draw a card, then we'll pass the turn. Next turn, I'm going to play Pernicious Deed and wipe their Mox Diamonds, and then we just have to find a way to win the game. Now they do have a mana leak, so maybe I'm not just going to windmill slam this into the ether. Maybe I'll just be a little bit patient. Yeah, we're just drawing our lands, which I'm super comfy with. I'm not going to play a fetch land. I want to keep lands out of the graveyard for the time being. I've been working on my local scene in Nashville, and our first monthly tournament is Saturday. I'm stoked for it. Every time I hear someone like stepping up and doing, the duty of a TO for their local scene, I am infinitely pumped to hear that. All right, there is a Windswept Heath. They've still got Mana Leak Unknown in hand. A Duress would be a great top deck here. No luck on the Duress, but I'm happy to play Llanowar Wastes, and then I guess we'll tap that for, we're taking pain anyway, right? We'll tap this for green, we'll lose the life, we'll tap this one for black, and we'll play out Wall of Blossoms. Get a little bit of a card draw going. Heading to Nashville this Saturday for that event. Wow, very sick. This is maybe my favorite thing in the world. Annul, potentially a great top deck here if our opponent, I mean, maybe not so much, because like we can play around Mana Leak next turn. No, it takes 2 more turns to play around Mana Leak. We need 6 mana up, but the Annul still can. Ooh, is this a fact of fiction? What are we doing? Intuition? Intuition. They're casting Intuition. I wonder what they want. Is it like 3 Sylvan Libraries? It's 3 accumulated knowledges. Not bad. You can have it accumulated knowledge. All right, we're in for a slugfest. If you're watching this on the stream, the deck we're playing after this is going to be the opposite. Similar color pie, but we're going to be playing a much faster game plan. Our opponent's fetching. They did the Intuition plus AK, which is effectively 2 cards for 3, which is a fine exchange in most situations, like this one, where nothing's really happening. If they ever find their 4th AK, we're in serious trouble. Wraith, not a huge deal, but I think you leave the city open on this play, not to save you pain, but to threaten double blue. That's true. I wasn't even thinking about fainting Counterspell, but I think our opponent's in a spot where they just have to, I know they have Mana Leak. I wonder if I just drop the deed. Like, I could annul this, but I don't think that they have like a foil. I don't think they're main boarding Annul. I think I'm going to take the chance at losing this game to this Oath of Druids and just try to blow up everything with Pernicious Deed. All right, untap, draw Pernicious Deed. That's kind of nice. Let's go Island, and we'll go green, black, blue, and we will play Pernicious Deed. All right, that just worked. Crack it for 2. Wipe the board. Great. Love to see it. All right, we're passing. Opponent lost a lot of resources to put those diamonds into play, so I'm pretty happy about that turn of events. Gonna be fun for sure, bringing 4 or 5 people with me as well. Wow, you guys are gonna have a sick event. That sounds awesome. All right, Undiscovered Paradise from opponent, sure. Pass to me. I've got this Counterspell. I could expose this deed. I don't feel the need to. Our opponent's probably playing some combination of Brave Revelation, Disenchant, and Naturalize, so I don't want to play it until I have like a good idea of what I'm going to be using it for. So we're just going to leave that in our hand. I'm willing to bet they can't interact with our hand. And there's a Mana Leak rotting in their hand as well, which I'm pretty into. Worship Import, it's going to be way too late for that. They're going to start using it probably to try to kill us with their City of Brass. And maybe eventually that does the job, but we'll probably find things to do before then. Tapping my island. Tapping my island is crazy work. City of Brass forces me to take a damage. Doesn't matter how it's tapped. It's just if it's tapped, I take damage. Just saw this list from your local past weekend. Love the deck diversity. Last Sunday in Bologna, Italy, took place Bogdan's War, a 63-person Premodern event. That rules. That's so sick. Our opponent, we're both just chilling. My deck kind of doesn't want to do anything. We'd eventually like to start to draw Fact or Fiction, but we're not rushing. Our end step. Does our opponent realize they can port our City of Brass yet? No. I'll keep playing lands and passing. Tap for a white, tap for a nothing. Colorless. Worship Import. Yep, there goes my city. They figured it out. Our opponent has us on a tight 16 turn clock to our own City of Brass. It's tough. Tap Treetop Village. That could become a nightmare. This is a reason for us to expose Pernicious Deed. All right, they don't do anything to upkeep. I just drew my AK. There are 3 of them in the graveyard, so I'm going to cast this now. Because AK, a lot of people don't realize, is completely symmetrical. It counts all AKs in all graveyards. AK, draw 4. I have 3 more AKs left in my deck. My opponent has 1. All right, there's my Grizzly Fate. That's how I'm going to try to close the game. Let's play this Yavimaya Coast, and we are going to continue to chill. We've got a Smother. If we didn't, I might expose the deed here, just to be able to blow up a Treetop Village if they want to get froggy, but I've got a Smother, so if they're going to invest the mana, I'll just be like, pop it, Grizzly Fate. We're probably done here. All right, it's tapped. I go to 14, you go. White, white. Are we cataclysming? We're doing something for big mana. Cataclysm. I'm gonna try to not let that happen. Blue. Counterspell? Cataclysm. No, thank you. We know about that mana leak, but it's just been sitting in their hand. We haven't missed like any land drops, so we're in decent shape. I'm not sure how they can answer this counterspell unless they've got like foil randomly, which I don't think that they do. All right, they're passing. I think we're gonna Factor Fiction and end step. We really want to try to lock down a second counterspell, or like a Duress would be fine too. Let's grab a swamp. Let's leave an island in our library just in case somehow. Oh, opponent concedes. All right, we're good. Our opponent doesn't exactly know how we win though, so I don't know about conceding that early unless they saw this list already. This is maybe a known list. Okay, this is a Terravor Mox Diamond matchup. I don't think I want to go into Oath here. I think what I want to do is I want to bring in Haunting Echoes. I think I'd like Naturalize. I do not think that, ooh, wow, that's tough. Well, I guess we're starting out 1-0. Our opponent conceded. They did not want to deal with this. Count it. Let's hop into another round, I guess. All right, we found an opponent. It's Raffi Nantuko. Eli the Fallen Angel subbed at tier 1. Thank you so much, baby. Appreciate you. This hand, no blue sources. The only non-blue card's Duress. We have to mulligan this. It sucks, but this deck does kind of have a mana problem. This hand is held together by the combination of City of Brass and Reflecting Pool. I will keep. The question is, what do we throw back? It could just be Underground River since we probably lose to Wasteland regardless, but we're in the interest of making every single land drop. Let's hope that we don't need this Smother and that this Pernicious Deed carries the weight of the world on our shoulders. It could just be AK actually. But then if this is not a creature matchup, I'm gonna look really stupid. So yeah, we'll pitch the Smother. Forest, Fyndhorn, sure. All right, Forest, Fyndhorn makes me feel pretty stoked about Pernicious Deed. We're gonna open on, I've got nothing to do. I'm actually just gonna play Reflecting Pool and pass. It doesn't make mana right now, but next turn I can make a decision on whether I want a Wall of Blossoms or hold something up depending on what I draw. Of course, gotta show love to the man that gave me pre-modern knowledge I had today. Oh, thank you, baby. If you're talking about me. Unless it's someone in chat and I just took their fucking thunder, in which case, apologies. I'm trying to get everyone in on this format. I want to show everybody the light. Another Fyndhorn Elf. Pernicious Deed stocks going up. Appreciate you, Eli, thank you. Quarian Ranger, stocks going up to the moon. To the sky. All right, let's fade Tanglewire and we'll feel really good. Priest, yep. Stonks going up and up and up and up. All right, we'll play, ooh, another AK. It's kind of good. Let's go with, what's the over under on holding up AK versus Pernicious Deeding? What software do you use to edit your YouTube videos? I use Premiere Pro for editing, OBS Studio for recording this. And I also, when we're doing studio videos in paper, I'm also using OBS Studio in order to feed all my cameras into the same layer. It makes the edit afterwards much easier for me since I'm doing daily. I think I could see, since I've got this Pernicious Deed, I don't even want to expose the wall. I kind of just want to play Underground River and start AKing. Is that stupid? We'll find out. Combat, 1, 2, 3, 3. Got it. I'll take 3. The beats. Something we really like to blank on here is a deranged hermit. Survival wouldn't be great either, but at least I can clean up all the mess that it will make, because it will make a mess, survival. Another ranger, sure. Show me deranged hermit. Please don't actually do that though. Green. Natural order. That is scary as hell. That's a good last card to have in your hand. Verdant Force. Okay, that's gonna not agree with my Pernicious Deed very much. Blue, colorless, AK. That's not good for us. All right, Verdant Force triggers. You get a dude. This is what we call an Oath of Druids matchup. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. I mean, I've only got one play, right? I have to get my Pernicious Deed down and use it, and then figure out Verdant Force later. Yavimaya Coast, black, green, colorless. All right, opponent, you can go. And we don't crack it now. I mean, we can't crack it now, but we don't crack it when we on tap. We pass and let them make their token off Verdant Force, I think. Natural Order could be pretty solid in your list as well. Maybe the issue with it in our list is we have 4 creatures to sacrifice to Natural Order. At least Force doesn't trample. Truer words have never been spoken. So right now, I think our play is to crack Deed. No, yeah, we got to crack Deed for 2 and play Wall of Blossoms, I think is what we actually need to do. Untap Verdant Force. I don't know what that achieves. Yeah, untap Verdant Force makes dude. I draw another land. Very cool. Very awesome. Let's go Llanowar Wastes. Let's crack this Deed on 2. Yep, opponent is going to do something. All right, that wipes the board. Let's go green, colorless, and drop a Wall of Blossoms. Duress, not good here. I imagine we're taking all those out. I know they hit survival in natural order, but I think we're trying to play a different game. Verdant Force makes a dude. I have to block that Verdant Force. I'm pretty nonplussed about that. Fyndhorn, sure. Gaea's Cradle. Really good land to play here. 3. Quarian Ranger, yes. Priest, holy shit. When it rains, it pours, guys. Attack for 7, I'll block. All right, damage. That's a Dead Wall of Blossoms. And then, I'm trying to workshop what I can top deck to not die. I don't think that exists. Yep, no, we just got destroyed. The Pernicious Deed was not, in fact, fast enough. Engineer Plague, anyone? Yes, please. I don't think, do I have that in sideboard? I don't. This is not my list. This is the GG Kaido. Again, sorry if I'm butchering their name. That's their list from a Japanese event. So this deck is like super, a lot of Japanese events. This has been the case for like my 11, 12 years playing Magic, is like, they always seem to be innovating outside of like the normal metagame space that we're used to over here. And I know it's going to be different region to region, but I'm really into looking at Japanese tournaments for that reason, which is why I'm so stoked we're seeing so many Japanese tournaments pop up on MTG Top 8. Okay, what we want, I think we're siding into Oath. So 1, 2, 3, Oath of Druids, Phantom Nishoba, Akroma. I'm not interested in Spirit of the Night in this matchup though. Haunting Echoes seems pretty poor. They're natural ordering, so I don't know if they have survival. I have to imagine they do, but I think I'm just gonna go with the Oath plan for now. Maybe bring in like, I've got Deed is the thing. Dominate could be interesting too. We're definitely cutting all 4 Wall of Blossoms. And then from there, maybe a Duress. And it's like, maybe we hedge Naturalize and cut another Duress. Something like this seems okay. Yeah, we're gonna do this. All right, opponent, let's go. All right, we're up. We've got 1 land and it's a Reflecting Pool. That's an easy mulligan. Annul, Counterspell, Factor Fiction, Smother. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, but I don't know if I can put this back. There's a non-zero chance I could take 1 more mulligan just to try to like destroy them with Oath. But if we miss 4, I don't think we can win on 4. I think we want the black creature that gives all non-black creatures. Oh, Ascendant Evankar. That could be the case. Yeah, it's just, I think it's Ascendant Evankar. It could be the case. I'm just playing this deck card for card on my first try. We're gonna keep this. I could see a world where it kind of falls apart in our hands, but I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna pitch the Annul. I think the Counterspell is generically better when we're on the play. Then we'll play an island and just ship the turn. Forest, Mana Dork. Yep, that's how you do it. Untap and draw. It's an AK. I'll take it. I'm not like stoked, but I'll take it. Underground River. That way we can represent Counterspell and have Smother if our opponent doesn't develop anything. Like if all they do is go Priest of Titania, we're smothering, we're not going to counter that. But if they try to like Survival of the Fittest, Quarian Ranger, don't care. It's really just like survival and natural order that we're interested in countering with the Counterspell. Yeah, you've untapped a Llanowar Elf. Play a Gaia's Cradle out, sure. 1, 2, 3. Survival, blue, blue. Counterspell, Survival of the Fittest. All right, they probably get busy for 1. Yep, 1 damage. I wonder if we're supposed to smother right now. Depends on what we draw, I guess. Grizzly Fate, not a great draw here. We'll play Polluted Delta. I want to try to choke him up on mana, so I think I am just going to fetch for a swamp and give him the good old smother on the Llanowar Elves. I could see a case for waiting, because we know they have the forest, so they're not going to miss their land drop. But I don't have any permission, and right now they could actually natural order simply by going forest, tap the Llanowar Elf, tap the forest, bounce it, do the Quarian Ranger thing, 4 mana, easy peasy, easiest natural order of their lives probably. So this hopefully slows them down at least a step. And if their hand's not super strong, maybe this Factor Fiction can buy us into some action. But we need to draw land for that to happen, which we drew an Oath target, which isn't great. So we're gonna go black, blue, and main phase AK. That's not great. Chat, it's not looking good. We're gonna pass. But I do get why the architect of this deck isn't playing Engineered Plague. We're a Pernicious Deed deck. So like Pernicious Deed in theory should do the same job, but be a little bit more flexible in general, if a little bit more mana intensive. I go to 14. They attacked with both of those creatures. Maybe their hand's not super strong, but we don't even have green mana. So it's looking a little sketchy. They've got a green floating, play forest. They can easily natural order here. All right, that is the natural order. We'll see what they get, but I think we're just gonna get a concession here to get more games instead of sit here for the next 3 minutes and lose to a Verdant Force. Yep, that's tough. We just got brutalized. And maybe because of the way the game played out, it's kind of like predictable that they're going to go that fast and be that low to the ground there. Maybe we should have went ahead and mulligan just for like specifically Oath. We'll see. We're going to get in at least, I mean, this has been quick so far. I think we're going to play at least 2 more games. All right, we got the same opponent and a different deck. So Rafa and Nantuko, we're going to get a double feature with. All right, I'll be on the play. Thank you for rejoining. The rooms are super full, so the wait times have been long. So if you get around to watching this video, thank you personally. I'll be on the play. Our opponent's on a different deck, so this hand could very well be fine. We have the load-bearing combination of Reflecting Pool and City of Brass, so we're gonna keep this. If our opponent simply opens on Goblin Lackey, we're gonna look like absolute idiots, but we'll see what happens. We're going to open up on the Reflecting Pool and pass the turn. Little island action. Portent? No portent. Pass to me. Is it an AK mirror? Hopefully not, because I have AKs and I'm probably going to cast mine. All right, City of Brass. We now have 2 rainbow lands, which is pretty sweet. If our opponent wastelands us, we're going to be in loads of trouble. Just an island. Cool. I'm not going to AK just yet. I'm actually going to untap, draw, play the swamp, and Duress our opponent to see how safe early AKing is going to be for me. Because remember, AK is totally symmetric. Our opponent is playing AKs, and they have Daze, Stifle. This Daze, Stifle, Powder Keg, Foil. This could be a couple of things. Right now, there's nothing leading me to think it's not Dreadnought. I've seen this combination of cards technically could also exist in Stasis. We'll take the AK. And we know they have AK now. Daze, so we're not just gonna jam this AK, because now our AK draws 2 for 2 mana, which is an instant speed divination, which by end, like that would be playable in Modern. So we're gonna value it pretty high, and we're gonna wait on just jamming it. We'll take an untap draw, we'll play Polluted Delta. We want as much blue up as possible now. Then we're just gonna pass. Our opponent has 1 mystery card, and they did miss their land drop. Gush is gonna be a nightmare when they eventually find it. All right, they're passing. I think we're gonna go for our first AK here. Well, maybe not. Would I counter? They don't have the counter spell, or if they do, they've got 8 in hand. I'm just gonna pass. I'm actually gonna let them go to discard. I'm fine with them cleaning up. Flash of Insight is a great card to discard. We'll go to our main phase, number 2. I guess we'll play out Llanowar Wastes. Do we just jam Pernicious Deed? I don't think so. We're just gonna pass. AK? Yeah, go ahead. So now we've got 2 AKs in the bin. Our opponent just needs to find lands, I think. All right, they're portenting. This is gonna save them from having to go to discard. With Stifle, I have to make the assumption that they're on Dreadnought. So landing this Pernicious Deed at some point is gonna be in my best interest. Although I'm not a big fan of AK and Dreadnought in general. Some people are, I know. I'm just not one of them. All right, pass to me. Yeah, I'll go for it. I'll bite. Blue, black, AK. All right, we take those. We'll untap and draw. You'll draw a Portent. We'll both be 8 in hand. Tide control is very possible here. We'll play a swamp. I like holding up Counterspell for the Tide. I've also got another AK. Tide control, probably not a great matchup for us. Let's go with a Wall of Blossoms could be an okay play here. Kind of puts a soft 2 mana leak though. That said, I think that's what we're doing. We're gonna go green. No, I want to keep blue sources up. We'll go green, black, Wall of Blossoms. Trigger the wall, draw a card. All right, we've got Smothers. If this is Tide control, we'd really love to find Duresses instead of Smothers. We have some hot sideboard. Okay, there's a Dreadnought. Found it. All right, we'll let the Dreadnought go. There's the Stifle. We will... Do we just Counterspell Stifle? Or do we just try to like get all of our equity out of these Smothers? I think the Smothers work on my turn. The Counterspell stops working as soon as this Dreadnought stabilizes. So I'm going to Counterspell. We'll go with a blue, and I think we'll, you know what, we won't tap for blue yet. We're gonna fetch. Wraith says yes, counter stifle. Yeah, I think that's correct. Island, tap for blue, tap for blue. I just want to get the equity out of it right now. Counterspell Stifle. We know they have Daze, so I can't just Smother right now unless they like thwart. They're gonna foil the Counterspell. So we know they don't have foil. What else did they pitch? Powder Keg. So we know they still have thwart. Flash is gone too. Stifle's gone. So the only 2 cards we know about in their hand are thwart and Daze. Untap double Smother does seem like a good play to me. Yeah, we're gonna let that go. You have a Dreddy. Now here's the real question, chat. Am I gonna cast AK? It seems like they have to counter that here. I kind of don't want to use AK as bait. I actually need this to resolve, I think, for this game to go my way. So no, I think we're just untapping and double smothering. I think we're gonna hold the AK until we run out of cards. All right, black, colorless. Don't cast now, they have Daze. Yeah, that's what I'm talking through. Is basically, would I trade this for a Daze? The answer is ultimately no. Vision Charm. Seems like we're gonna cast another Smother, and then they what? Thwart? Now this is an interesting spot here. They're Vision Charming their Shrimp. If I Smother in response, they can thwart. Where does that put me? That puts me at maybe resolve accumulated knowledge. This is a funny little spot here. I think we need to buy cards. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to force them to use their thwart right now. And then I'm going to AK. Take my first 8, really. They have thwart right here. There's the thwart. Now we know they have thwart. Daze is dead right now. So let's go ahead and get my cards up front. Is that gonna put us at discard? I guess there's a argument to do it in their upkeep. All right, you got it. It's Vision Charmed. Smother doesn't do anything. I'm gonna pass now. And then in their upkeep, I will cast Accumulated Knowledge. Blue, whatever. How do we feel about this? Draw a bunch of cards? Cool. Counterspell should be helpful. We know they have Island, Daze. So we're trying to blank foil here. I think we're fine blocking with Wall of Blossoms. Or what's the over under on not blocking with Wall of Blossoms going to? No, I've got City of Brass. We need to save as much life as we can. My thinking is like, what if I can like blank a future Mishra's Factory? But I think this is the world we're living in right now. All right, I know 3 of the cards in their hand. They need a lot. Oh, Duress. Well, that kind of just solves our problems for us, doesn't it? Yavimaya Coast, black, Duress, U. All right, they've got Stifle Days. Well, we'll take the Stifle. That stops our deed from deeding. And now that we know they've got Island Days in their hand. I just missed one too many islands. This just works. So we're going to go Painless as Possible, which I think involves black, green, and then whatever. And we will drop the Pernicious Deed. And there's no reason to wait to pop it either. We're going to pop this on 1. They do have in their graveyard Flash of Insight. They can't cast it right now. I could play Gaia's Blessing, or not Gaia's Blessing, Wall of Blossoms, but I'm much more interested in just having Counterspell up. Opt? Sure. Another island. So now we know they have Days Island, question mark. I could just go for the Bears. Is there anything I don't want in my hand? Gaia's Blessing? I guess I can Blessing there. No, we're going to keep the Gaia's Blessing. This is actually sweet. Let's go Wastes. Let's go green, black, Gaia's Blessing. Target you, actually. And I'll hit Flash of Insight, Island, and is that it? What's the count for AKs for each of us? I'm really far ahead. Maybe I shuffle away. No, I don't want them to redraw their AK. It's just gonna be those 2. All right, we draw a Pernicious Deed, so we're just gonna resolve that right now. Black, green, colorless. Deed? All right, pass. Now I'm not sure how we lose. Like there's technically a world where they can resolve a Dreadnought and have like multiple Stifles. Or Stifle plus like permission for my permission. But they've got a lot of uphill distance to cover if they want to do that. And now we know their hand is Mystery Island Days. So we will untap and draw. Another Gaia's Blessing is like kind of whatever here. I think, what's the over under on just jamming Grizzly Fate right now? Yeah, I think so. Green, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Grizzly Fate, you got something for this opponent? I can do it again next turn. With this Pernicious Deed in play, I wonder if they don't even fight it. Okay, so I have a 2-turn clock right now. It reads, no, it's a 3-turn clock really. If I'm able to flash back the second thing, we're good. Wild to me that Grizzly Fate is played. It's one of the ways out of the game. This deck is like pretty good at slowing the game down to a crawl, but we need to be able to close it. And Grizzly Fate plays really, really elegantly with Gaia's Blessing. Is it a great card? I don't know about that, but it functions. It's a Nombo with Pernicious Deed, but that's kind of why we're doing the Gaia's Blessing thing. Gush, do we counterspell Gush? I don't think so. They can't deal with all these bears, so our only job now is to damage control Dreadnoughts. I haven't lost to Grizzly Fate since Odyssey Black constructed format. I wasn't playing then, so I'm pretty jealous. Flashback, Flash of Insight, I don't care. You going for it? Do you have it again? Not yet? Okay. We wait then. We go into discard? Love to see it. All right, it's a Daze. That makes infinite sense. Let's play City of Brass. Let's go to combat. Let's full send for 8. Now let's think. How hard were we? Can we just resolve another Grizzly Fate? How much mana do we have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can play Grizzly Fate and have a counterspell up. That is a thing we're able to do here. I don't know if that's actually good. You know what I think I'll do instead? I'm gonna go green. Gotta head to work. Have a good one, Eli. Appreciate it, buddy. We're gonna go green, black. I'm actually gonna Gaia's Blessing myself this time. And I want back my Gaia's Blessing, my Duress, and my Duress. What about that? Yeah, we're not flashing back yet, Wraith. I need like, I won't feel safe until I have like, yeah, Keg is a big one. I wouldn't feel safe till I have like 20 mana or some insane number like that. Then I'd be like, okay, maybe we flashes back. Second Pernicious Deed, pretty good. Don't feel an overwhelming urge to resolve it right this second. AK, do we counterspell that? I kind of just don't care, right? Yeah, you can draw 3,000 cards. That's literally a draw 5, holy shit. All right, opponent, good luck converting all the cards in your hand. There's the Mishra's Factory. Great blocker for bear tokens. I think at end step, I am gonna pop off this Fact or Fiction. Blue, colorless, black. Wanna tap some mana? Hell yeah, you do. Resolves. Then I think, do I care about this Wall of Blossoms? Kind of. I still don't feel the need to Lat-Nam's Legacy, I guess is what I'm getting at. Opponent has to discard 3 cards. I draw another wall. First things first, attack for 8. Bring it to 4. All right, they're gonna have to do some serious work to not just die to bears. Let's go green. This Reflecting Pool is holding this entire operation together, by the way. Wall of Blossoms. Trigger the Wall of Blossoms. Draw a card. Underground River. Play it. Okay, opponent concedes. Yeah, not really a lot of ways out of me having that many tokens. How do we sideboard this matchup? Let's start with the obvious stuff. Annul, very good. Naturalize, very good. I don't think we become an Oath deck. I think that would be silly. None of the things I can Oath into beat the Dreadnought itself. Chill, no. Oath, no. Blue Blast, no. So Haunting Echoes becomes the question mark. Like, am I bringing in a 5-mana sorcery? That seems a little hard. Cards I love. Dominate. Love that card. Wall of Blossoms seems like fine. Yeah, we're not bringing in Haunting Echoes. Way too hard to resolve, I would say. Naturalize also seems a little bit mediocre compared to Smothers and Diabolic Edicts. Love the Grizzly Fates. Do we actually not bring in every Naturalize? I'm looking at the way my deck's set up. I think Pernicious Deed's actually just insane if it comes into play. I could see cutting like one Pernicious Deed because I'm going to be on the draw this game. And like, I only need to have one sitting in play. But after that, I don't want to cut any more Pernicious Deeds. And then it's like, am I cutting Counter Magic? I don't think so. Am I cutting Wall of Blossoms? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm cutting like 2 Wall of Blossoms and doing like this. I think I'm going to try this. Slim Shady subbed at tier 1. They've been subscribed for 8 months. Slim Shady, you're approaching a year, my guy. Holy shit. Thanks for the tier 1 sub, baby. Appreciate you. Also, a second shout out to our opponent who showed up with a different deck, like a totally different deck. That's pretty cool of them. This hand, they always look so good when they don't have lands, don't they? But we don't have lands. Mulligan. Ooh, another hand with no lands. Take a little mulligan. All right, this one's a Smother, Factor Fiction, Counterspell, Gaia's Blessing. We're going to keep this, shift the Gaia's Blessing, and yikes, guys, the Forest. Let's go. Time is a factor right now, so if it starts to turn south quickly, we're going to concede, so we have time for game 3. All right, pass to me. I started watching your content. Now I have 3 Premodern decks. That's exactly what I want to hear, Slim Shady. That is the thing that brings me the most amount of joy. Here's a Polluted Delta. I will pass. We're not going to willy-nilly fetch. Stifle's a problem. So we're going to wait as long as possible to just fetch. All right, take a draw. The Diabolic Edict, that's nice. We'll play a Polluted Delta and we will continue to chill on fetching. It all started with Frog in Modern though. Yeah, so I did just watch the Modern Pro Tour, and let me tell you what, the blue-white deck that got second, I'm on it now. I played a league with it this morning. Here's a Swamp, and I will pass to you, opponent. I ain't doing shit. I had to mulligan to 5. If you'll let me go this long, I am happy with it. Is that tapping for 3 mana? Nice. Fetch. Fetch, please. Get an island. Fetch. Get another island. Resolves. And continue. So that's basically a 3 mana draw 1, but later in the game, they'll be able to use this to like basically 2 mana Demonic Tutor is what that reads like once the game goes late enough. They play a land and they pass. So we're gonna untap and draw this land. Hate it. We'll pass. If we miss like 2 or 3 more land drops, we will just concede because it'll get to a point where we'll never have enough resources to win the battles we need to be winning. All right, untap, draw. Reflecting Pool, take it. Pass to you, opponent. I like the Esper deck that got third. That deck is very sweet. I actually played that matchup earlier today. AK, sure. Little piece of candy in the graveyard for when I start to draw my AKs. Love to see it. Island, pass. I will not play into days with my Factor Fiction. I will simply draw. That is a Duress. I would like to cast it. Wait, let's wait. NeonMushroom, why would you wait to cast that? I'm going to wait to cast that specifically because I would like to draw a 5th land, Duress, and then be able to like try to Factor Fiction or something. And I don't have to go to discard. So, oh, OS Dan, sub Prime. Thank you so much. Oh, I missed a cool comment. Let me see it. Love your YouTube content. Thank you for the stream. You got it, buddy. Thanks for watching. Opponent also neglecting to take game actions. Activate Mishra's Factory. I will go for a Smother here. I'll wait for them to tap it so they have less mana to operate on. Black, blue, Smother you. Counterspell resolves. I will take 2. I'll go to the end step. The reason we're waiting to do this till end step is because if I had done what I'm about to do right now, they could just dread on me. I will take a daze on this Diabolic Edict. Blue, black, cast Diabolic Edict, target you. There's another counterspell. Great. This Duress starting to look way better. 2 Duresses. Be my guest. Duress you? All right, we've got AK, Thwart, Dreadnought. Their graveyard has AK in it. I'm going to strip their deck, or their hand of AKs. AK, black, Duress, you. They could thwart here. If they do that, yeah, great. You've thwarted. I will pass. So now we know that their hand is... What's up, Profound Wanderer? How you doing? We know that their hand is Dreadnought, AK, Dreadnought, AK, Island. And we will be counterspelling Accumulated Knowledge. Are they just passing? I'll take an untap and draw. My own AK. Maybe not. Maybe we will just respond to their AK with an AK. End step, you go. Flash of Insight. I would like to AK in response, I think. Can I draw a bunch of cards? All right, that can resolve. Ooh, we got our Dominate. There's a line. Continue. So we know their hand. We know 5 of the cards in their hand, which is Island. Now we know 4. Island, Accumulated Knowledge, Dreadnought. we can probably make the assumption that there's another island. So it's like island, accumulated knowledge, dreadnought, mystery, plus the mystery card on top that they're about to draw. All right, opponent passing. Cool. My turn. We know most of their hand. The most horrifying thing is actually the AK, I think. We draw Pernicious Deed. That's a Pernicious Deed. I think we don't need to extend it just yet. I almost feel like I could Gaia's Blessing their AKs a way to try to get them to move. I don't know if that's right though. It's kind of a weird one. Let me see. What I know for sure is island, AK, dreadnought. I think there's another island. That puts me at 2 mystery cards in hand. Will I fight a counterspell? Basically, the thinking is, do I go Gaia's Blessing your AKs and then counterspell your AK? And how good is that for me? I think I'm just gonna keep holding up 2 counterspells. All right, you're up, opponent. This is a little bit of a funny spot because I still feel that I can win the game, but time is not on my side. Streaming also adds time to the whole process. Fire up the factory is fine. Attack for 2 is also fine. I take. We go to my turn, untap, draw. We're just looking to draw. Oop, Duress, great, actually ideal. Duress you. I will fight you tooth and nail for this Duress to resolve. AK, counterspell. AK, hope they don't have days. Counterspell the AK. All right, we got through the AKs. What do you got in your hand? Vision Charm, perfect. So their hand is dreadnought, island. I was right about the mystery island in hand. That's very good. What's going on? Rickadeki 99. But I feel like that's Aiden Rickle. Maybe it's not. Who are you? Do I know you? That sounded so like condescending. Just do I know you in real life? Rick the Kid. That makes infinitely more sense than what I just said. They appreciate it. All right, here comes this factory. Now I feel like we have a really good chance at winning this game because all of my opponent's AKs are in the graveyard and only one of mine is. That feels really good. I'm going to play this Pernicious Deed. Let's go green, black, blue, perk deed. Go ahead, opponent. Have you opened any of the Spider-Man set? I have not. I probably will not. I'm nonplussed about Spider-Man. I'm like generally not that big a fan of the Universes Beyond stuff to begin with, but let me tell you what, the art in it, I can't say that it's like, oh, it's for sure AI generated. Some of it looks so suspicious to me. Some of it's like, I don't think they had a guy draw that. And maybe I'm not on base there, but it's just, sometimes you just have a feeling, you know? So there's still only 2 mystery cards in their hand. I feel like I can play Magic for infinite time. We're just gonna pass. I might even try to dominate a Mishra's Factory and just turn it into my win condition. Impulse? Do I Factor Fiction in response to Impulse? I don't think so, that's fine. Now, Lorwyn. I've seen some of the spoilers for Lorwyn. Lorwyn has me excited for contemporary Magic again. If it weren't for the fact that it was flanked by so many sets I could not care less about if I tried to, I would be actively pumped. It looks so good. Have you seen Emptiness? Would it have been terrible not to take their charm and dominate their dreadnought? Could be the case. I think that's asking for a lot to go right. Parallax Tide seems bad for us. Do I Foff in response to this? We know their hand's dreadnought. We don't know what the third card is. Let's do it. Let's go, let's tap our best lands and leave our worst ones up. Blue, black, whatever. Factor Fiction. Well, I'll take that Naturalize. Or will I just take lands? No, I'll just take lands. I'll choose pile 1. I just realized I still have Pernicious Deed in play. What are they supposed to do? You've got a Tide. There's your factory. Sure. All right, I'll let you turn it sideways. I'll dominate it, I guess. That way they have to hit their own factory with their Tide, taking out less of my lands. Now I have a Mishra's Factory. You have to tide that out of play. You did. All right, you got my Reflecting Pool. You get 3 more. 2 more. Pass to me. I untap and draw. All right. Do we see if they have the Stifle and just pop this deed? They can only get 2 more lands. I kind of just don't care, right? Let's just play out an island and pass. I'll hold my green sources. You're up, opponent. Tide loses a counter. Great. I think this Gaia's Blessing needs to get shuffled back in with Lat-Nam's Legacy. 2 mystery cards, 2 dreadnoughts in hand. Here's what we'll do. We'll cast Lat-Nam's Legacy, tapping these 2 lands, and we will tuck our Gaia's Blessing. A little perky deed. Yep, a little perky deed. Pretty good here. All right, Lat-Nam's Legacy triggers. I draw 2 additional cards. My buddy pulled a badass Eddie Brock from the collector's box, and it's sick. Hey, if you guys are enjoying, so I don't give a crap about it, but I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum either. If you guys love it, amazing. I'm gonna be over here enjoying Premodern, and if everyone over there is happy, I'm stoked about that. All right, we found a mana leak. That doesn't do anything at this point in the game. We'll play a Yavimaya Coast. Then we redrew our Gaia's Blessing. I kind of feel like we're just gonna cast it, targeting me, and I want back my Factor Fiction. I want back my Duress. I want back my Counterspell. We draw a Wall of Blossoms. What if we just play that? Yeah, green, because they're eventually going to get that Mishra's Factory back if they don't have the Stifle. So I'm pretty stoked to just get a Wall of Blossoms into play. Infinite blocker. All right, I will draw a card. Any AK at this point would just be absolutely insane. Just a City of Brass? All right, we're passing. Last counter is removed from Parallax Tide. Here's a Portent, that's fine. So they're gonna have Dreadnought, 3 mystery cards when we go back to my turn. I think they should have waited the set for Marvel Superheroes, but I don't really care about the Spider-Man set. The only reason why I like it is because a lot of it reminds me a lot of the comics I used to love reading. And nostalgia is a totally valid reason to enjoy something. You're getting no judgment from me. I think that's awesome. Take an on-tap, take a draw off Portent for the opponent. We've got 5 minutes on the clock, so this is the game we gotta win. We'll play the Swamp out, and then we're gonna drop another Wall of Blossoms. Trigger the Wall of Blossoms, we'll take a draw. It's a Delta. We're gonna pass. I'm gonna wait to get my lands back off that Parallax Tide if they let it happen before I Grizzly Fate. All right, there goes the Tide. You gonna Stifle or do we all get lands back? All right, we've both got infinite lands. Your hand still contains 2 Dreadnoughts. If I start to get quiet, it's because I got 5 minutes left on the clock and I do want to try to win this game. Another Parallax Tide. All right, it no longer matters to me that you have Parallax Tide, because I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. 11, 12, 13 if you count the ones in my hand. You've got my green source. You've got my green source. You've got my green source. Floating a green. You've got it. And you can have this one, but I'll float the mana. All right, I'm not going to do anything with the mana. All right, do I pop this deed? No, I don't think so. We're just going to untap and draw. Annul, neat. Llanowar Wastes, you may go. You got a Stifle for that Tide, buddy? That is a good top deck. There's the Stifle, that's fine. We've got another green source in hand. Their hand, once again, contains Dreadnought, question mark. There's a Portent, that's fine. I think we need to go for Grizzly Fate next turn, mainly because of time. I feel like if there wasn't a timer on this game, we could just simply never die. So if this was like a real life game, if this game was in real life, because we already won game 1, we would just win the whole match. But we're playing on MTGO, so we had to play by MTGO's rules. We'll untap, we'll take a draw off Portent for opponent. Now they have 2 mystery cards in hand, and I have a Counterspell. Counterspell here is insane. I've just played the wrong land, so that's not great. I should have played that City of Brass so I could perk deed our Grizzly Fate, but we're just passing. Opponent's just passing back. They have 3 mystery cards in hand now. Now we have to go for it. I don't think we have a fetchable target for this Delta though, so that's a little bit awkward, right? And we're going for it. Green, and then green, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, green, 1, and then we'll let that resolve. 2, 3. Grizzly Fate. How about a bunch of 2/2s? You got something for that? Impulse and Response is fine. How about this Grizzly Fate? Blue, Gush is fine. How about this Grizzly Fate? Does it resolve? Does it resolve? Does it resolve? Yeah, that's the world we're in right now. Foil, try again. Gush, sure. How about this Grizzly Fate? All right, we've got bears, pass the turn. Opponent may have let this go through. They have 8 cards in hand. Dreadnought having 8 cards and none of them being counterspells, I'm pretty sure is a mathematical impossibility. But what they might want to do is use the fact that I just resolved a Grizzly Fate, play their Dreadnought, force me to blow up everything. We're gonna try some other stuff first because we have 3 minutes. Once again, we can't actually annul this Dreadnought because I don't believe I have enough islands in my deck for that to work. I should check, maybe I do. I don't. I have 3 islands total in my deck. All right, you've stifled, that's also fine. But I'm gonna try naturalizing that thing. Fact or fiction's cool. Let's go green. Let's go black. Hey man, naturalize. All right, combat. Do we attack with everything? Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine losing 1 to deal 6 here. We gotta do something. All right, they take. I'm passing. Another Dreddy. This time we can annul. How about an annul? Impulse resolves. All right, we know nothing about their hand anymore. That was both of their Dreadnoughts. So it's 4 mystery cards plus whatever they get off this impulse. All right, is that annul good? Looks like it. That's 2 Dreadnoughts down, I think. Yeah, here comes the 3rd one. It resolves. Stifle resolves. They're passing. I'm going to cast this Fact or Fiction. There's another perk deed. There's an annul. They're probably just going to 1/4 this accumulated knowledge because that's the only card I actually want from this pile. This AK is like a 2 mana draw 7 right now, I think. So giving me that sounds like a bad idea. This mana leak all of a sudden is turned on as well. Okay, I guess I'll take a bonus card with my AK. I would have taken that AK on its own. All right, let's go blue, black, AK. All right, there's another AK. Do we play Reflecting Pool? Do I die if I AK again? I don't think so, right? Let's see if I can find a targeted removal spell for this Dreadnought. No, but there's a Duress. So what do we do here? Do we Duress them now and then just plan to re-up on the Grizzly Fate? Chain of Vapor, Vision Charm. We'll take the Vision Charm. Their hand is Chain of Vapor Island. Let's go to combat. Attack with all creatures. They block one of my bears. They take 6. Here, I think I am just going to pop this deed on 1, like so, to pop the Dreadnought out of play. They can Chain of Vapor their own Dreadnought. I don't care. They're going to Chain of Vapor their own Dreadnought. Don't care about that either. So now their hand is Dreadnought Island. Deed, 5 bears, end step. We got 1, 2, we'll pitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this not enough cards yet? There we go. Okay, we've got 42 seconds to win this game. We just have to resolve Grizzly Fate and attack. All right, untap, draw. Here's my Llanowar Wastes. Here is green, green, black, black, blue, Grizzly Fate. I will counterspell your interaction. All right, F6. Opponent, I believe this is you dead. All right, you can cast that Dreadnought and I can annul. Pass to me. Amazing. Untap. Go to combat. Attack with all creatures. Activate Mistress Factory is fine. Black, blue, Diabolic Edict target you. I've got 0 seconds left on the clock. All right, why did they win the match? They win the match because I timed out, but I win the match. I know the card in their, I know 2 of the cards in their hand. I've got a counterspell. I've got a mana leak. We win anyway, but it does say that they win the match, but we synced it with our eyes. Our opponent should have conceded there. They were deterministically dead, but no, maybe not. Like, okay, if they weren't playing to the clock, they should have conceded there because they were deterministically dead. I like to think our opponent isn't playing Premodern to play to MTGO's clock. That was a 2-0 for us. We just 2-0 Dreadnought, which is especially cool because we just won the game 2 on a mulligan to 5, which is really strong. That was, chat, was that our 3rd or 4th game? Because that last game took a long time. I think this is going to be its own video. I think that'll be it for the bug control deck because I really want to get into playing. Look forward to tomorrow's video, which is going to be some Bathtub Toaster while we get primed up for like 3 paper streams in a row. So that's it. If you're watching this on Fluorescent, thank you so much for watching. Look forward to some content very soon. And as always, I will see you next time.